Thanks for downloading this special seasonal mini-series of the Mikeysline Speaking of Suicide podcast. I'm Pennie Stuart, and with me is Shona Macpherson. And across the 12 days of Christmas, Shona is giving us some mental health tips to help us when times get tough. Shona, what's today's tip?
So today's tip is called the self-compassion break. And most of us are very bad at self-compassion. I certainly have been for much of my life. And this is a practice that I find really useful. This comes from, can you believe, somebody who has a PhD in self-compassion?
Really?
Yeah. Dr. Krista Nerf. And she's got a wonderful website, selfcompassion.org, that you can get lots of self-compassion tips on.
Yeah.
But for today, if you're up for doing this with me, Pen?
Oh, yeah.
And those of you listening, if you can think of a situation in your life that's difficult and causing you stress, I invite you just to call that situation to your mind just now. And don't worry, not asking you to say this out loud, but just bring that to mind. And for a very brief moment, see if you can sort of just for a moment feel that stress and the emotional discomfort in your body. And tell me kind of when you feel that you've got there. Most of us, it doesn't take very long. Yeah. So we're just going to now go through a 3-part practice together, and not really going to ask you to say anything, Pennie, except for maybe at the end, if something comes to mind, if you want to share it. But yeah, don't feel any pressure to do so. So the first part of this, part 1, is acknowledging to ourselves that this is a moment of suffering. So that thing that you've now brought to your mind that's causing you some stress, causing you emotional discomfort in your body, if you can, just in your mind's eye, say to yourself, this is a moment of suffering, or that was a moment of suffering if it is in the past tense. Or other terms that we could use is simple as ouch. Just saying to ourselves, ouch, or this hurts, or this is painful, in itself is self-compassion. Simple as that for part 1.
And we'll need to hold that thought through to tomorrow, when Shona will be giving us part 2 and 3 of the self-compassion break.
Finally, a reminder again, this is generalised tips. If you are really struggling, this does not replace professional help. Please seek that help. And thanks for listening.
Thanks, Shona. Remember, it's okay not to be okay, particularly at this time of year and in these really challenging times. So if you need someone to talk to, you can text Mikeysline on 07786 20 77 55, or contact them via Messenger, web chat or Twitter, Sunday to Thursday 6 p.m. to 10 p.m, Friday to Saturday 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Speaking of Suicide is made in partnership with Mikeysline by Adventurous Audio Limited and is supported by Mikeysline and D&D Paving Limited.